Let us pray. Father, we have also decided to follow Jesus. Help us not to turn back. Help us to follow his teachings and also to follow his prompts so that one day we can be where he is and enjoy the blessings for those who have followed him. Speak to us in our situations because Jesus is the way and the life and light. For we pray this trusting in Jesus' holy name. Amen. Amen. May you take your seats. It's beautiful to sing. We have decided to follow Jesus. But Jesus has also called us as he did. We remember last Sunday, for those who are here, we were talking of how Andrew saw Jesus, and he came to his brother and told him, "We have found the Messiah." And today, that can tell us, after they found Jesus, they went back to do what they were doing every day, because they were fishermen. They went back to the seas to cast their nets. And we can see Jesus passing by there, and he had a plan for them. Jesus was changing their career. Jesus had an interest in them. Jesus had a vision and mission, and he wanted to accomplish that using a few people he was calling on his way. I don't know what Jesus was looking at, but one thing we know, Jesus was calling people who were busy doing something else, although it was different than what he was calling them to do. As soon as Jesus called them, he told them as it is, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of people. You will never fish at the sea again. You're gonna fish at a different sea. But before you can do that, I will teach you. I'm gonna teach you how to become a fisher of men and women, boys and girls, and little children." And Jesus did that. Today we're going to have our annual meeting, and I'm going to dwell a little on my report because I know some people will not be in the meeting. They have some other engagements after the service, so I felt it was good for us to dwell a little on this report of what we did through God's help last year, and also the vision we have for 2020, the year we are already in. When Jesus called you, and when Jesus called me, I never had a slight idea that one day I will be doing what I'm doing. And especially in this place. I don't think you had an idea when Jesus called you. Some of you were called back in Kenya, in some other countries, in this country. But today you find yourself doing this. How effective are you in this business of fishing for people? Can you explain within yourself, when did you hear the call? Or are you still waiting to hear the call? Do you know what is the call? The call today is very, very plain. Jesus is passing by some people, and he stops and points at them and says, "Simon, come over. John, come over." And he's declaring what he's inviting them into. But little did they know that following Jesus, by the end of the day, it will mean they be prepared to lose even their own lives. The call was very simple. Follow me and I will make you fishers of people. Anybody can accept that. That is so easy. That is so enticing. Because Jesus is telling them, you're going to be fishing people but it will also be fishing. Jesus is a wonderful God. He is telling them, follow me. Then he found some other two guys with their father. Then he calls them, and they left their dad out there. Jesus was a revolutionist. Can you imagine you are at the farm with your children, then they tell you Jesus has called us. You are in the middle of throwing the net in the sea. Your boys, they are the ones to haul the fish out. Then you hear another guy passing by there and he has called them. I remember so many times when we were growing up, being called because we couldn't answer. Somebody asking us, where were you? We said, whom were you with? Didn't I tell you about that family? And then we were in trouble because we were hanging out with the wrong type of family. We were in trouble. So imagine Jesus calling these two and leaving their dad struggling with the nets because he's going to give them a new career. It was not easy to begin with. We remember how the disciples struggled. When Jesus was to be arrested, Simon Peter had a sword. We remember the story. So he took it out and chopped the ear of one of the soldiers. Jesus said, no. I want you to follow me, but not like that. I'm a commander-in-chief. I can invite a troop from heaven to come and take care of us. This kingdom is different. So Jesus is telling the disciples, I will teach you what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. Then the other two disciples, one day, they sent their mom, can you go tell Jesus in his kingdom to let us sit, one at the right hand, the other at the left? What did Jesus tell them? Oh, that's not a problem. I'm gonna give you that. But are you able to drink from the cup? So Jesus was telling them as it was. It was not easy. You can start, but it means a drastic change of both body, mind, and soul to be a follower of Jesus. Sometimes it will need you to stand up for some principles. It's not easy. But Jesus is our teacher. Follow me and I will make you. So in the process of being made, do you know what God is molding you into? Because Jesus told them, I will make you fishers of people. So everything they were doing morning to dawn, every day, Jesus was making them. So do you know what Jesus is making you into this morning? Do you have an idea? What is Jesus making me into? How far am I into what Jesus is making me into? So 2019, it was one of the successful years since I came here. I don't want to talk of other years. And when I came here, we had plans, 5-year plan. Then in 2018, we came up with a 4-year plan, the things we want to accomplish in the kingdom of God. In this call, God has called us. What do we want to achieve? Sometimes, when I'm in this compound by myself, I have gotten almost depressed. When I see what I'm doing, then I wonder, God, I know I answered the call. Did you call me to be thinking about sump pump? Did you call me to be thinking about pipes? Then he reminds me that is part of the call. Because we have to make the building habitable. when my people come to worship, they have a good place to worship. Then I say, okay, I didn't know that is preparing me to be a fisher of people. So the call will lead you to so many other things. The call will make the worship team to come on another day, not on Sunday only, to do practice. They say that is too difficult. It's part of the call. If you want to be perfect, you have to practice behind the scenes. Last Sunday we spoke about two lives. The prime time, which we are all in right now, and the background. For you to achieve and to excel in the prime time, you have to spend as much time, actually double or thrice time in the background. For you to, here we only come for 2 hours. You need to prepare for over 10 hours so that you can come and perform for 2. Are we willing to pay the price? Following Jesus needs you prepare. For our meeting today, we have come up with a booklet, 20 pages. It has taken a lot of time. And some of us, you just flip it through. At 2 o'clock, I will find a lot of these on the table everywhere, various. And we have put a lot of time for this to be here. So last year, through your help, we were able to go through zoning. That is something I never knew was part of the call God has called us. Some of you were in the township meetings at night, listening to the commissioners of the town to give us permission to use our building as a daycare. Little did I know that I was not in charge of everything here. We never knew there are some other people who are part of this call. And we have to find them wherever they are. So we went to township, and actually we had to hire a lawyer. I think we paid about $3,000. It wasn't easy, and we are still following the call of Jesus. We need to see young children in our building before this year is over, being molded, being transformed, being changed. For that to happen, we had to go through so many meetings, sending certified mails to all the neighbors who are within 500 square feet or whatever. We did that through the lawyer. So when we went for those meetings, we had to have those returned with the signatures, the blue strip. We argued our case, why it will benefit the community for us to have these daycare here for our young children. Out of that, we were told you have to have wheelchair accessible bathroom. You have to demolish one of your doors to make it that 6 inches that a wheelchair can fit in. Those were some of the things they put down as conditions. And next month, we are going to start to build, God willing. Part of that, we have to make the Arkwright room here as a wheelchair accessible bathroom. So Matthew, if you miss church for another month, you won't find that as your room, it will be a bathroom. This is part of answering to the God's call. But we're going to give you another space. So this is part of the call, because we want to open up. Part of this call, we are also discovering on the way. When Jesus was walking by, he could detect people with calls. Today, before the day is over, we're going to have 4 new vestry members among you. God has helped us also to detect and to discern. These can help us in the call we answered. Then, next month, we're going to start 10 meetings to support our sister Elizabeth to discern if she is called to be in the ministry. She has told us she has a call. But in Episcopal Church, that is not enough. which we have selected among you to help Elizabeth and the church to discern whether what she's telling us is true. After the 10 meetings, the committee will come up with 3 options. Elizabeth is called to be a priest, a deacon, or a lay minister. That is your mandate. They know themselves, the people in the committee. You have to come up with those 3. Elizabeth thinks she's called to be a deacon. But the committee will decide, this is the call we are hearing. You walk with her. It is not a simple thing. It's not easy. But because we answered the call, Jesus keeps calling us. I have like 2 people who have been called to join the Acolyte. But I keep telling them, we're gonna train you. They come telling me, I have a call. Why do you have a call? They have watched the other Acolytes. They have seen them working for the Lord. And they feel they have the call. So we are in the business, even as we build, repair the pipes, pay the bills, even as we do these, we are also walking and discerning who has a call. For those who came to church earlier, the whole building had a laloma of nyama. That is somebody's vision. Somebody was called to come and do that. It was so tempting, I wanted to tell her, can you give me a little? But I shied off. So that is how enticing it was. These are people called differently. For those who came earlier, we had the Sunday school going to their space. Those are teachers just like you and me, but they have answered their call differently. God has called them to go be with our young children. We have a challenge. We need to have a full-time employee for our youth down the line. I have it in my vision. It might not be accomplished this year, but we are working. It's something we have started to design. What do we want? Because we want to mold our young people. But the call sometimes takes time. Jesus called his disciples, but he left them by themselves after 3.5 years of training them. So today, we might design our young people need somebody permanent. But by the time we get to that, it needs a lot of planning. How are you going to pay or meet the expenses of this person? So we have to think, do we need to give more of our pledges? Do we need to honor our pledges? So answering to the call means a lot. There is so many pieces to be brought together. And for last year, we were able to see 187 teens come for VBS every day. So total for the week was 187. We saw some people coming here for the Diocesan Council, the end of the year. And also, the whole year of 2019, in this building, we had over 6,000 people who came in January to December because we take count. That is the call God has given us as Trinity Church. The good news of God was preached to 6,470 people in this building because we have answered the call. Through answering that call, we were able to take 12 people to Holy Land, Israel, Egypt, and Turkey. Through answering that call. Through answering that call, we have been able to graduate 4 high school students in Kenya, and 3 of them in September this year, they will join university. That is through the call we have all done together. Mother-daughter tea, father-son fellowship were a great hit last year. We had our Samosa ministry, which has given us about $10,000 US. Let us appreciate Jane and the team. We had 2 concerts, worship team and Peter and everybody else. May God bless you. We had a very successful parish barbecue day and cultural Sunday, and everybody chipped in. Our website, our Facebook, our preaching every Sunday is recorded. The IT department, may God bless you so much. When we go for coffee hour, every time we find a cup of tea or a bottle of water, the men of the church, they buy that water every day. Let us appreciate them. The ECW, every time somebody is sick at home, every time one of us has a baby, the ECW is there to visit with them. May God bless you too. Our men have done marvelous. Our acolytes, let us appreciate these young men and women. They have represented our diocese at the National Cathedral, and we are so proud of you. We don't have much, but with little we have, our church has made a mark in every corner of this diocese. We are known. We are in the map. If you go to our diocesan website even now, the first picture you find there is for Carol and Lillian and Judah in Florida. When we are adorned in our cultural dressing, may God bless you too. That is the face of the Trinity Church. 10 a.m. every morning, we have beautiful souls singing and worshiping God here. They put their time aside, their comfort, to come every Sunday. They never get tired. May God bless you so much, worship team. I have another team, Elizabeth, Damaris, Peter, Lydia Nadera. They are always here, Joseph. They come here every day to change our linens from one season to the next, that we can worship with our eyes, with our senses. You know, Elizabeth and the group, God bless you so much. And we have Esther, who is also part of the altar, and Lucy. She might not be here. Lucy is the one who cleans the utensils after we use them every Sunday when she's here. And guess who else? Agnes. I sweat into my gowns, and she has never told me how she feels when she's cleaning them. May God bless you so much. I'm saying this because this is just a few. And the wonderful vestry. I cannot speak enough of you. And to be honest, you're going to miss the 4 who are stepping aside. So for the 4 people who are joining, you have big shoes to fill. You are not just joining the vestry. Beatrice, if God blesses you today, they confirm you. And Frank and Carol and Liz, I'll give you a chance to see whose shoes you are filling. These are the giants of the vestry. Yes. I don't know who can replace Esther, Anthony, Elizabeth, and Ben. We're going to replace Ben with the sister. That's a little good. But the other 3, I don't think so. You know. So that is what the call we all received has led us into. And all of us, faithfully, we were able to give over 200,000 for the ministry 2019. All of us joined together. Without you, we are not able to do anything. I might not have exhausted. Let us appreciate Jeff and Jennifer. and Ikimi. After we all leave the church, we leave them behind. They don't go home when we go home. It doesn't mean it's not about to be paid. No. This is a call. So I might be here in the pulpit, somebody else is there, making sure your seat is okay, making sure we are comfortable. What about our ushers? Wow. I don't even know what else we can say. The ushering team, they are there all the days. I came to a point, I don't even say Henry is an usher all the year round. For those who know. And Ken, they are just there to do the work of God. They have done it so faithfully and so diligently. Without you, I'm not able to accomplish what God called me here to do. When I came in as I'm finalizing, I told myself I'm here for how many years? Actually, I told all of you. I was coming for 5. Now this is my 6th year, and I know Mr. Brico is listening. Say what you're saying, Eric, Alex. I know you are listening. God willing, I can give another 5. God willing, I can give another 5. What am I trying to achieve? My goal was not to be here until I retire at 72. My goal was to make sure through your help that this church can have another source of income apart from the money we get every Sunday. And this year, we might achieve just a little of that. Today after service, we will have another new service joining here at 2 p.m. This is a Baptist church. So they will be worshiping here, and they will bring into our coffers about $10,000 a year. Out of that money, we have a vision. This year, we're going to open an endowment fund. Anthony, I know you will not be in the vestry, but you'll still be part of the finance team. Hold me and the vestry accountable. We have it in our projections. We just need 5,000. Take it to the diocese and open endowment account. Endowment account is where you have the money which you cannot use the principal. You'll be using the interest. We want to build that until at some point we have like $100,000. So if you want to give some money to the church, you can give through the endowment, just to make sure our young people, when they are our age, the church, you have another source of income. That when we miss to come to church because of snow, I'm not panicking. But today, I panic. And finally, this month, through the pledges, we were anticipating, just check your program. This is what I'm finalizing with. Because we have to start the other meeting by 12:30. So we still have good time. How much money are we looking forward to get? 17,484. 17,000. So right now we have under 10. That means we're gonna go short. I'm hoping today you'll give like 7,000. If you give that, then we are good to go. But if we don't get 7,000 today, we have started now the downward trend. Once we start here, it's very hard to catch up by the end of the year. It will be too difficult for us to do all the other ministries we just said when we are struggling on this side of our bills and our other ministries. So if you gave us a pledge and you have not even paid a single penny, today is the final Sunday of the month. For those who pledged 5,000, you're supposed to have given 400 by today, by the end of the day today. If you pledged 1,000, how much is that? By the end of today. Anybody who knows how to count 52 Sundays divided by 1,000? And because you know what you pledged, we want by November, every pledge is completely paid. December, we don't want to give any offering from the pledges. apart from the people who never jumped into the sheep or into the fold of pledging. And we hope by the end of the year, every church member will be able to pledge so that we can all join in the ministry God has called us. And as I finalize, let me read to you the mission and vision of our church, so that when we go to the next meeting, we know whether we are fulfilling out of all I have told you through the call God called us, whether we are meeting that. Trinity Church exists to provide Christian fellowship for all its members and the community through Christian values. That is our mission statement. Did we accomplish that out of all what I told you? You can answer. Yes, we did. Our vision: Trinity Church will develop into a dynamic fellowship of Christians who know, love, and serve Jesus Christ, and who deeply care for each other, supporting and fulfilling the spiritual needs of all members. Number two, Trinity Church will equip its members to become responsible and productive stewards in their lives and ministries in order to magnify the Lord. And finally, Trinity Church will develop programs to foster a faithful Christian stewardship. Have we done that? We have done that, so let us all join heads together through the call. And for us to accomplish all that, we can sing these. When he calls me, I will answer. When he calls me, I will answer. When he calls me, I will answer. I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere working somewhere. Working somewhere, working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere working somewhere. Working somewhere. Father, we commit and dedicate ourselves to you, that you called your disciples and you have already called us. We have so much scope of what we can do through following this call. We just said a little of what the call means when we have answered it. Help us to be somewhere, even when we leave these buildings and this compound. Help us to be somewhere working for our God. We pray